Pure potential manifesting. Pure potential rises from the one source of creation. In its moment of origin, it can become anything. At this point, it is like a stem cell, brimming with infinite potential, as yet unrealized. Potential is shaped by the landscape of the inner field of expression, the subtle, manifest consciousness. This starts with the causal body, clearing the belief in the mental and emotional bodies that you have no control over your inner landscape. This belief is clearing for yourself, the collective, and the ancestors. In particular, it is clearing from the emotional body and the heart's energy center. Under that, clearing impressions and memory patterns from early childhood that define oneself as vulnerable, powerless, weak, under-resourced, and unable to effectively control the world. Awakening the quality of boundless potential to your child's self in this lifetime and previous lifetimes. This is also happening for the ancestors. It is opening your autonomous control over the 5 primordial elements of creation: earth, water, fire, air, and space. Your divine God presence at this time imparts the direct experience of consciousness directly taking form in the child self. The details of these mechanics are illuminated by the light of your awareness. Clearing beliefs, impressions, and cultural conditioning of being unable to control the mind. As a child, seeing adults fail at controlling their environment and manifesting their heart's desire left impressions and despair in the system. Clearing these impressions and the discordant feelings that go with them from the heart energy center, from the connection between the emotional and mental bodies. Control of the mind comes not from forcing thoughts to conform to particular intentions. It comes through neural flexibility and the physiological skill to settle or increase mental noise at will. If the thoughts are not going in a direction that is life-supporting, we don't fight against them. Awareness settles into absolute silence. This resets the whole system. It gives rise to more useful thoughts. It is a simple process. You practice it every time you sleep, between breaths, between thoughts, in every gap and transition that life affords. Attention to this gap awakens it. There is only one gap that shows up in many forms. We approach it from many angles in order to know it deeply. The gap is awake and thrilling with the blessings afforded by the enlivening effect of your awareness. The gap is where the seed of potential is born. It is where the union between manifest and unmanifest is currently stabilizing. When conscious awareness digs into the process of union between the manifest and unmanifest, then the sense of self takes on the garb of truth. Your true essential nature unifies with your sense of self or ego. This transformation for the sense of self creates a context in which separation cannot grip you. Right here is the seed of the solution to all problems. Essentially, all problems are rooted in the experience of being overwhelmed by separation from being. The paradox is that separation and union exist together. That means that they are unified. That means that unity dominates even in the field of manifestations and diversity. This reality, as counterintuitive as it may seem, is being received by your body and your being as a download. It is something that is directly experienced, rather than being intellectually understood. After you have experienced it for some time, the nervous system will adapt, and understanding will also be present. Control over your causal body evolves when awareness resides with the causal field and stays grounded to the source of creation at the same time. The portal between these forms is blessed by divine grace. The unbounded potential of the seed of creation folds into itself and into the source of creation. Union is established at this level of greatest potential. This is the perfect foundation for the manifestation of divine expression. In the causal body, the seed of manifestation is perfect but utterly abstract. As the seed surfaces, it meets with ever-diversifying fields of expression. The possibility of feeling more and more isolated and vulnerable to environmental influences increases. Adaptations are required to accommodate increasing expressions of diversity. One is faced with an increasing number of opposing values, pairs of opposites. Patience is required to make adjustments that result in healthful improvements. In the physical field, even more adjustments are made than in the subtle fields of the body. This has to be a gradual process because the physical nervous system needs time to adapt with every new moment. As long as your intention is on evolution, every change will yield positive growth. Even if you feel that the material changes are not exactly as you had intended, each adjustment of the nervous system brings you a little closer to your goal. Our bodies are highly adaptable. Sometimes bending one way and then bending the opposite way helps the healing process overall by increasing flexibility. Even if the results of each bend are not determined to be ideal, ultimately, if you can bend in both directions, you can find balance. Attaining balance while maintaining flexibility is preferred over a balance that is static and limiting. Even though going to extremes may not be in your highest and best interests, the potential that flexibility brings activates and infuses the balance with all possibilities. We want balance that is adaptable and can be found throughout the field of life experience. Clearing impatience from the 4 dense levels of the body. Under that, clearing the long-held belief that only material success is meaningful or valuable. This healing is for the ancestors as well as yourself. Under that, clearing the illusion that reality is relegated to the material field of creation. Under that, clearing volumes of fear, especially from the body's meridians, that we are not, as humans, equipped to deal with the abstract, the subtle, and that which lies beyond the material. Under that, clearing from the limbic system, fear of the unknown. This clearing addresses further levels of vulnerability experienced in early childhood. Thank you for being with me.